Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's session. Today we'll go for Maths Paper 2, the Calculator Paper, Variant 2 for ON 2025. Let's go. Question 1 is coordinate geometry. They says a line meets the curve at 2 points. Ask you to find the coordinate. This is just simultaneous equation. We do substitution. Then group everything to the left. You want to swap the position of A and B also can because they do not emphasize which one is on the left or right. So both also can as long as have these two coordinates. Then part B, they say the perpendicular bisector of AB. Perpendicular, they give us info about the gradient. We can find the gradient of AB first. Y minus Y over X minus X. Then perpendicular means negative reciprocal of it. So it will be this. And then we find the midpoint. After we gather these three information, we can use the straight line equation. Y minus Y, mx minus x. So this is the equation of the perpendicular bisector. And then they say they will cut the coordinate axis. Coordinate axis means x-axis or y-axis, which means either x equals to 0 or y equals to 0. Then these 2 points will be P and Q. So after we get these two coordinates, ask you to find the area of the triangle POQ. We can check P is 0, negative 31 over 16. This is P. Q is negative 31 over 4, 0. And then O is here. Then this is a right angle triangle. So we can directly use area equals to half base times height. And we do not need to include a negative symbol because negative symbol is just showing it go up, down, left, right. Area is not a vector, so don't care about that. Then you times it, you get this. Done. You get the area and this 5 marks. Question 2. The diagram shows the shaded region ABCD. Line AC and BD each have a length of 12. The line AC and BD bisect each other at point O, and then the line ADBC are parallel to each other and have the length of 4. Arc AB and DC are part of the circle of the center O. Then we can confirm this 6, 6, 6, 6. Find the obtuse angle of AOB, which means this. We don't have the arc length of AB, but we can use this triangle because we have all 3 sides. So we can use cos rule or cut it half to use Socato also can. Let's say I use cos rule. This is one family. I find this angle first. This is the one at the side. And then the one family is this. 0.6797. So this is this angle. Why we find this? Because we know DB is a straight line. If you already know here is 0.6797, then we will know here by using pi minus this. So the answer is 2.46. After we gather the info, they say find the perimeter of the shaded region. We already know here is 4, 4. Then we need to find what is AB. It's just r theta. The radius we already know is 6. Theta we just found 2.46. 14.76. So at last the perimeter, this thing times 2 plus 4 times 2. The answer is 37.5. Part B1, they ask for the area of the shaded region. Question 3. Find the exact value of the term independent of x in the expansion of these two things. So when they are in this relationship, something times something, we need to ensure that the power, if there is any specific power, we need to expand it first. So both also we need to expand. We expand this first. Then we expand this. So after we successfully expand these two, we need to check. They ask for the term independent of x. So we need to check this part can pair with any of them to form independent of x. Independent of x means x power 0, so it can pair with 1. How about this? It can pair with this to remove the x squared, and then this can pair with this. So all these trees will form the term independent of x, so we need to sum them together, then you key in calculator, you get the answer. Question 4. Variable x and y such that EY is plotted against x power 3, a straight line graph is obtained. The line passes through these two coordinates. Find y in terms of x. So every time straight line equation, we know we write the equation. And then we already know this y is EY, x is x power 3, so we need to find gradient and c. The gradient, we use these two coordinates, y minus y, x minus x. So you get the gradient is minus 2. After you know the gradient, then we can use any of the coordinates to find the value of c. Then we successfully gain all the info we can subs in. But the question requires you to find y in terms of x, means y must be the subject. Then we remove the e. So this is the equation, 4 marks. Part B, they say, find the value of x for which your equation is valid. To make a log alone valid, the baby here must be more than 0. So this is the values of x for which your equation is valid. Of course, you can divide 15.5 by 2 and get the value. We go to question 5. A 6-character password is to be formed by using the following characters. We have 5 letters, 4 numbers, 3 symbols. Each character can be used at most once in any 6-character password. Find the number of 6-character passwords that can be formed if there are no further restriction. So total we have 12 of them. We want to form a 6-character password. Then we just key in calculator. It's a very huge number. Part B, find the number of 6-character password that can be formed if the password start and end with a symbol. Symbol. So the first symbol we choose from 3, so it's 3p1. And then the last symbol, since we already extract 1, then we left 2 symbols to choose from. Then from here we have 12, but already pick 1 here, 1 here. We left 10 things for you to pick. And you need to choose 4 of them to fit in here. Then again, you key in calculator, get answer. Part C, find the number of 6-character password that can be formed if the password start with either a symbol and then a number, or a number then a symbol, so it's second situation, and ends with 2 letters. So we list down this situation, then we count. Symbol we have 3, number we have 4, letter we have 5. Then we already have 4 of them, so we left 8 to pick, and we choose 8 to fit in these 2 positions. Here is again number is 4p1, 3p1, 5p2, and again we take out 4 already. We left 8 to pick these 2. So you get 13440 plus 13440 equals to 26880. Question 6. In this question, length are in cm and time is in second. A particle is moving in a straight line with a speed of 26 and direction is this. Ask you to find v. So when they give you magnitude and direction, we can use magnitude times unit vector of the direction. 10i minus 24j, or of course you can write it in the column vector also. Then they say when time equals to 0, P passes through a point A which have the position vector of this. So this is the initial position. Write down the position vector of P at time t. So position at time t is always initial position plus V times time. Done. At the same time that P passes through A, a particle Q passes through point B. And then the position Q is given by this. The distance between P and Q is D. Ask you to show the distance between P and Q is this way. I and J is just like X and Y. So how to count the distance between 2 coordinates? We know the distance squared equals to the difference of X squared, which means this and this. plus difference of y squared. So this is d squared in form of this. All are integers. Then hence show that P and Q do not collide. It's a hence question, so we must use back the information from the front. Here is the info about the distance. Collide means distance equals 0. So let's check from here when distance equals to 0, what happened. So we can confirm t is always minus 4, but when we talk about SVA, we count the time must be always more than or equal to 0. We start the time and after it moves. Impossible, the time is a negative time, so that's why we reject this. We say they do not collide based on this working that you show. Question 7a is a product rule differentiation. So u equals to x and v equals to cos 2x. So v times this plus u times this. For part B is a hence question. So every time after differentiation, they ask you to do hence. We need to find the relationship. We know differentiate this will become this. So integrate this will come back to this. So we write the relationship that we already know. Then we check we need to have this. That means when there are two terms, we can separate these two, and then this thing can throw to the right. Then of course, we can remove the minus 2 by everything times minus 1 over 2. Integrate cos, we know differentiate sign will become cos, cos will become negative sign. So integrate cos will go back to sine. And remember plus c. Then this question you gain full 4 marks. Question 8. An arithmetic progression have first term of t, common difference of 1.5. Fourth, 8, 20 terms of the AP form the first, second, and third terms of GP. So we base on the GP because GP they tell us about the U1, U2, and U3. And then we know this U1, U2, and U3 by forming ourselves. It comes from the AP. So fourth term in AP means that we use the formula A plus N minus 1D. The A is T, fourth term, so 4 minus 1 is 3, and then the difference is 1.5. For U2 is again A plus 8 minus 1, which is 7, 1.5. So we know it's T plus 10.5. U3 is 20 terms, so it's T plus 19, 1.5, T plus 28.5. So after we know the first 3 terms for GP, only one unknown, so that's why we need to form one equation only. So from here, U2 divided by U1, we can find the first ratio, and then U3 divided by U2 is our second ratio. So we can say R1 equals to R2. T equals to minus 3 over 2. So after we know what is R and what is T, the question asks us to find the common ratio. Since we already know the unknown T, then we can know what is R. Subs in my T into here. Then you get the ratio is 3. Just key in calculator. Question 9 is given that fx equals to this, x more than a. Write down the least possible value of a. Every time they talk about the long graph, the baby must be more than 0. You just leave your answer in this way, or you tell me a equals to minus 5 over 2. And then they say use your value of a, write down the range of f. So we subs this in, you found that it's maths error, then we can confirm it's ER. Then they say it's also given that gx equals to this, use your value of a, solve the equation, give your answers in exact form. So we form what is f gx first. So we subs this x here. So when the square root to the right, it can be plus minus square root, but sometimes it will reject some of that. Then we need to refer back what is the domain for our composite function. Fgx, the domain refer back to gx, which means xer. So since it's xer, our final answers can include positive or negative. Make sure you show both. Question 10. The diagram shows part of the graph and they ask you to find the area of the shaded region. So this is integration. the answer must be in this form. So we need to know it's from this point to x equals to 0. So we need to find what is this point first. That gives us two equations. Then we need to solve the simultaneous equation. We have ex and e power 2x. If you think it's very difficult for you, then you can let ex, the smaller power, into, let's say, a, will become 3a squared plus 5a minus 2 equals to 0, plus 2 minus 1. A equals to 1 over 3 or a equals to minus 2. And then remember, whenever we let, at last we need to subs in back. So we know x is ln 1 over 3. Here is not acceptable because ln, the baby, cannot have negative value. If you keen calculator, you found that this part is maths error. So only one answer, x equals to ln 1 over 3. So after we know it's from ln 1 over 3 to 0, then we can count part 1 area and part 2 area, and then we use the part 1 area minus the bottom one, which is number 2, then we can get the answers. So we count part 1 area first. It's from ln 1 over 3 to 0 of this. E and ln together, then we can cancel them off, and then left 1 over 3. 5 times 1 over 3 is 5 over 3. 15 minus 5 is 10, so 10 over 3 minus 2 ln 1 over 3. Part 1 done. We find part 2 area. Here, e and ln in between them have a 2, so make sure these two I choke up become power 2 first. Then will become 3 times 1 over 3 power 2 over 2. 3 times 1 over 9 will become 1 over 3. 1 over 3 divided by 2 is 1 over 6. And then minus 9 plus 1 is minus 8 over 6. So we get part 1 area and part 2 area, we use 1 minus 2. 20 plus 8, 28 over 6, minus 2 of these, plus 4 of these will become plus 2 of these. But the question requires everything in ln 3, but this is ln 1 over 3, so we need to continue to do some adjustment. This part we simplify first. 1 over 3 is actually 3 power minus 1. So after we did this, then the power minus 1 can throw front. Then you successfully reach whichever they request. Then you can score this 10 marks. 11a asks you to solve this, which both sides also have tangent. Then we can do factorization directly. Then we separate and solve two parts. So tangent equals to 0, we know the tangent graph. Tangent equals to 0 when 0, 180, and 360. And all three answers are fulfill the criteria because it includes 0 and 180. So all three we need to accept. And then for this part, we need to key in calculator. According to ASTC, my answer is here. My key in shift tangent of 4 will give you 75.96. The third quadrant will be 180 plus this. After divided by 2, all 5 answers fulfill the criteria. So you have 5 answers here. 11b asks you to solve this equation. We have cosecant. Cosecant means 1 over sine. So instead of swap this part upside down, I can swap my right hand side. Then we know, according to STC, sine is a positive value. So my answers is on first and second quadrant. We key in calculator in radian mode. We found that it is 0.2527. The second quadrant will be pi minus this, will be 2.889. So both of these answers fulfill the criteria, and the largest number that we have already very close to 2. So the positive part done. We go to the negative part. Is from here to here is pi plus 0.2527, 3.39. But since this is going opposite direction, make sure you put negative. Minus 1.2. And this already very close to minus 5, so we can close file here. But if you feel not secure, you want to try the second negative angle, can use 2 pi minus this, and it's opposite direction. Minus 1.2. You know this confirm exit minus 5 already. So we only have these 3 answers as our final answer. Okay, so it's the end of this paper. Hope you learned something and see you in the next class. Bye bye.